Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we have some major questions from a lot of brothers. They were asking all over the place. So inshallah we have the presence of Sheikh Dimashqiah today with us. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
MashaAllah, it's good to see you always, MashaAllah.
Me too.
It's been a while since we recorded, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah. And today we have some really good questions we need to inshallah ask you. The first question would be inshallah, Sheikh. Good microphone, yes?
Yeah, it's fine, yeah.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, go ahead. What's the question?
The first question would be...
What's the question about the microphone?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's actually from the Revert brothers. They asked me, you know, since you come to Islam, what is the priorities? Because, you know, I'm a new Muslim, I'm a Revert. What is the priorities for me to know in Islam?
The priority of every new Muslim is to think about his own community. And we take this as a lesson from the Quran. Every prophet was sent to his own community.
No.
Every community that Allah sent a prophet, He sends His prophet from among them. So He goes to them first. Okay? There are some new Muslims whom, when we become happy in knowing that they became Muslim, they converted to Islam, etc., etc., they get disappeared. We don't see them anymore. They are no more effective in the society. We don't see them. And those are the people that should be primarily contacting their own people, dealing with them, warning them, giving them good news, warning them from doing the evil actions, etc., etc. We don't see that. The devil sometimes he distracts you from what is more important, attracting you to be busy with what is less important.
Right.
Because dealing with you as a believer is more difficult than dealing with a disbeliever who can easily obey him.
Right.
You're not an easy target. You are a difficult, tough target for the devil. And he bargains anything from you. Okay? If you say, I'm not going to do the evil, at least he will let you do what is less good. If he could not urge you to do the evil, at least let him make you busy in what is less important to keep you away from what is more important. And that's what's happening. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَأَنذِرْ عَشِيرَتَكَ الْأَقْرَبِينَ, and warn your own close community, your own close people. Begin there. Also, the matter of Tawheed is what you should be engaging yourself with. Some people now, they're new converts, they keep themselves busy with some political issues. What about this leader? What about that leader? What about this? What about that? They keep themselves busy with political things. You're not ready for that. Any fitnah can collapse you.
Right.
Any fitnah can reverse you, can change you. You're still young, you're still new. What you need is to get closer to Allah. That you keep worshipping Allah, knowing what are matters of worship. Learning the deen, learning the religion. You have to start with this. Then, when you become capable, then go to your own people. Suppose you came from Italy. Amore grande signori. Okay? Now you're busy with the issues of the Americans or American policy, etc. Go to your own country and save your own people from hell. Because who can approach them? I, as a non-Italian person, okay, I'm good in English, but I don't know Italian. And if I want to go there, I have to stabilize myself, settle myself. Where should I go? How can I start? It takes longer, ages with me, but it doesn't take that
long with me.
Long with you.
Of course, that's the problem.
Because you are the people of. Regarding English language, anyone can speak it, but to be specialized in your own language, which not everybody can speak it, so you become a more important person for your own community.
True.
This is what you have to begin with. how to worship, what to believe in, how to receive questions and doubts. There are people who doubt Islam because of many things that people delude them, deceive them. So because of these doubts shackle them from entering to Islam. So that's your priority. Don't make yourself busy with any other thing other than making yourself capable to learn and to give. Don't care if there are traitors in terms of political issues, etc. Don't worry. Finally, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, let His deen be
prevail, isn't it?
Prevailing.
Yeah.
But what is your task now as a person? You're not in a position to have all of those political burdens lifting them over your shoulders. It's not. You're a new person. So what you have to prioritize yourself with is learning the deen, being able to teach it for your own community. That is the most important thing. Other than that, I'm sorry to say to you, you're not doing the job. The guidance is something given to you. It's not by your own, mashallah, you have a good heart and you have a good mind, that's why you deserve to be guided. No. The matter about why you deserve to be guided, how this happened, alhamdulillah, we're so happy for this. But nobody guarantees that you'll carry on the same way.
No.
How many people they said we converted, and after a couple of months, maybe a couple of days, maybe a couple of years, they said, we're sorry. They changed. Yeah. Why? They did not maintain their hearts. They did not learn the deen. There is no religion that says to you, you should learn before you enter Islam. You have a big problem if you did not learn your religion.
SubhanAllah, that's very interesting the way you said, Sheikh, SubhanAllah, because us as working in da'wah in the streets and going to certain places here in London, we actually face ex-Muslims and they say they left Islam because they thought it's not logical enough, and when they compare it to the science and everything else, they see it's not actually, it doesn't have a weight for it. But when you ask them the basics, the basic questions of Islam, they really don't know anything about it. And you're like, okay, SubhanAllah, so you entered something that you don't know anything about and you left it without doing your own research. So it's definitely, I can put a point for that.
Therefore, I say, I'm giving you my experience. The Muslim who learns his deen and he knows it, he becomes just like a palm tree. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ gave the palm tree as an example to the believer. It keeps flexibly dealing with the wind. You can see, have you seen those tornadoes?
No.
Do you see how they keep pushing the palm trees and the palm tree doesn't fall?
Yes, SubhanAllah.
Keeps standing steadily.
SubhanAllah, that's true.
And from A of the palm tree to the Z of the palm tree is beneficial, fruitful.
Allahu Akbar.
You can't say I'm a believer and you're fruitless. The Prophet ﷺ said that the believer who keep mixing himself with people and being patient for the harm he gets from them, is better than the person who does not mingle himself with people nor being patient for their harms. So you have to do that. When the Prophet ﷺ was given the message, he used to be performing the prayer at the door of Kaaba, knowing at the same time that he's going to receive many insults, many offenses and abuses. In fact, they were even throwing things on the Prophet ﷺ, and Abu Jahl said, I'm going to put my foot over him. If I see him praying the prayer he's performing.
SubhanAllah. So you're saying, Sheikh, that as a new Muslim you should expect hardships. Don't think that you're going to come into the deen and Allah's not going to test you.
In terms of inviting people for the thing Allah guided you, it is important, no matter what you receive because of that. What's happening nowadays, no, we want to make jihad. We want to do this, we want to do that. We want to die easily. We want to... No. Look, Musa Musa was granted victory over what? Over Pharaoh. Did he fight? There are many forms that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can grant His servants victory, even if it's different than the form of fighting. Ibrahim did not lead an army. And until today, Ibrahim is significant. Look, sometimes one person may do something good, and he thinks that nobody hears about him. Look how many billions upon billions upon billions of people they know about Ibrahim, and they took Ibrahim as a good model for their faith.
Allahu
Musa, Yusuf. People think that it's only one incident that had passed away and that's all. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made those prophets leaders of guidance for all mankind until today. So you have to do that. Guidance is something that Allah gave you, but Allah gives you to test you. لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ فِيمَا أَتَاكُمْ, to test you by what He had given you. لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ فِيمَا أَتَاكُمْ. So this is a test. Even the guidance Allah gave you, you should pay the taxes of the guidance by spreading that guidance, warning people. How many people in Italy?
No, millions.
Let's say 50 million.
Yeah.
50 million. 50 millions. Who is for those people? I'm afraid that Allah used those non-Muslims as punishment, lively punishment for those Muslims who keep living for themselves. You know,
Yes.
sitting in a cafe, taking shisha, you know, he may be praying, but that's his life, khalas, that's all. No. When you join this club of ummah, you are a member of those who are in charge of giving da'wah.
No.
كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. You were the best nation that was emerged to people. تأمرون بالمعروف. You enjoin doing the good. وتنهون عن المنكر, and you forbid doing the evil. This is the task of this nation. So you said, I'm guided? Yes. But you are undertaking a very heavy burden of da'wah, inviting people for faith. If you don't do that, you did not do what the messengers did when they were given the messagehood and they were sent to their own people.
Allah.
So that's the priority.
MashaAllah. Sheikh, you know, subhanAllah, you shed some light, you know, on how to, or what are the points that we should do as, you know, as a revert or someone that just returned, you know, I wanted to practice the deen. But, you know, sometimes they find it difficult here living in the West, you know, to acquire that knowledge. So let's say, for example, ya Sheikh, you know, someone tried to acknowledge or tried to know about Islam, but he found it difficult. Yeah, he cannot find the shuyukh that they would give him or anything else. What is the options that he can go for, ya Sheikh? Or better yet, who would you advise him to listen to?
Well, we have to admit that it is not easy. It is not easy in this environment.
Yes.
Okay? It is not easy to find scholars.
Yes.
Scholars won't live in places like this. They won't. It's difficult for them.
Of course.
Okay? So I would say that the best way is to find some alternatives. We have some good networking nowadays. So this is the alternative.
No. So
we got some good people here, but they don't reach to be, you know, to the level of scholars, being scholars.
No.
It is not easy. But you have the network where you have the internet, a lot of well-known scholars who adhere to the Sunnah, to the book and the Sunnah, authentic Sunnah, and you can learn. So what we say, if you did not hit the target, at least hit something close to it.
No, subhanallah.
No, so you can get the target in a Muslim country, finding a scholar, but here you can't get.
No.
So don't say, well, I can't get a scholar here.
Okay.
So don't let me look for alternative. If you could not hit the target, that's what the Prophet said. Saddidu wa qaribu.
No.
Hit, okay, the target or something at least close to it.
No.
I'd like that term of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay. So if you could not achieve that achievement, having some scholars here in this country, at least you can find a lot of recordings, videos and audios for those scholars available the internet.
And let's say, for example, Sheikh, who are the scholars? Let's say we have a lot of students of knowledge here, mashallah. They studied in Medina and different places. So who are the people that, let's say, for example, I'm a Revert, for example, and I went to a guy and I was like, okay, who are you? And he said, I'm a student of knowledge. Who are the scholars that he studied under, that I would be, I would feel comfortable enough studying with him? So for example, he would say, oh, I studied with Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen. So just hearing this from him, there is more confidence for me to gain knowledge from that guy. So who are the names of the big scholars that their students are here that I can take from?
Well, we're going to answer this question, inshallah, right after we perform Salat al-Isha, because it's time.
Oh, subhanallah.
It's prayer time now.
Inshallah.
We come back to you. Be with us, inshallah.
Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. Regarding choosing scholars, sometimes, as I told you, it is not possible for you to find scholars here. There is something in the hadith, the ulum of hadith, science of knowledge, something called wajada. Wajada means you have taken from a sheikh and he's dead. So you did not take from him personally, but you saw his books, his efforts, all right? Then you took his books, you studied his books, okay? Then you conveyed what his books contain, okay? And then you spread it to people. So you are considered to be a person who had taken from that sheikh, even indirectly. So we call this type of taking hadith, for example, from the shuyukh, we call it a type of wajada. Wajadta, you found his book, you studied his book, then you spread his book. Okay?
Okay.
So in this case, where there's no scholar available, that's what you can do. I would say, let me put this forward. Let's say we have no sheikh. Basically, we have the Quran. Basically, we have the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the authentic one. So we have these things available. Let's begin with it. And then Allah brings to us, provide us. Don't think that we have to have everything. We've got to have scholars, everything ready with it. Sometimes it may not be possible. And that's why I said today, and I repeat it today, Saddid wa qarib. Hit the target itself, or at least something close to the target, if you could not hit the target. Scholars say, ما لا يدرك جله لا يترك كله. The thing that when you're not able to get most of it, don't leave all of it. At least if you can get something, it's better than getting nothing.
Right.
No. So I would say, if you start building yourself by reading with full contemplation, pondering, okay, the Quran, and as well you dedicate a part of your time for the Sunnah, and you keep doing this constantly. It's an ongoing type of seeking knowledge. Let's say use 1 hour for your day. You say, this hour for my Lord. Half an hour reading Quran, half an hour reading Hadith. Okay, Shaykh? Yani, at least a person should be asking himself, alright, a day had passed with me. What did I do? Did I serve my religion? Did I seek knowledge of that day? You should be asking yourself. The Prophet ﷺ said, I have seen in the dream that I was given a glass of yogurt milk. Then I kept the remaining of it to Umar. They said, "O Prophet, what did you understand from this dream? What was the interpretation? How do you interpret it?" He said, "Al-ilm." Knowledge. فَأَعْطَيْتُ فَضْلِي عُمَرٍ. The remaining of that glass, I have given it to Umar. Let's see how Umar was seeking knowledge. Umar used to be having a neighbor, and what a great neighbor is that. This neighbor was making a system of swapping the knowledge, swapping the visit of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to seek knowledge. One day, Umar goes for his trade, making money. Okay. At the same day, his neighbor dedicates his day going to the Prophet ﷺ, seeking knowledge from him. At the end of the day, Umar and his neighbor, they have a meeting at night. Umar takes from his neighbor what he got from the Prophet ﷺ. And the next day, Umar dedicates his day with the Prophet while his neighbor goes. What kind of neighborhood is this? And what kind of struggle is that? So therefore, we can see here that there was a daily basis of seeking knowledge by those companions. This is how they achieved knowledge. So that's why I say we should be truthfully seeking knowledge sincerely for the sake of Allah, the Almighty. Right? Take 1 hour. Say, this hour is for my Lord. That's an hour of my day. And Allah, believe me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will descend a lot of blessings, barakah, on that hour. Okay? So do that. People sometimes don't do anything and they say, how do we seek knowledge? As if they expect you to give them a book guideline. Okay? Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, Plan D, etc. Yeah, the matter is so simple. Ibn Umar, radiallahu anhu, he said, we used to take no more than 5 ayah, reading them, trying to memorize them, practicing upon them. We used not to exceed a 6th ayah, more than the 5. Learning them, practicing them. That's why we have attained knowledge and practice.
No.
Huh? No. So this is what I advise. Then I add to this. There are some symbols of knowledge. As for a person like you who speak Arabic, you got those scholars, okay, in Arabic, like Sheikh Al-Albani, mashallah. We have already, with me, wherever I go, I have these 900 lectures for him. They're available. The books are available. What we need to do, though, and that's what I was thinking of, to make an Islamic English library. I don't know what happened to the brothers. They didn't do it until now. They should be doing it. I mean, someone, for God's sake, should be doing this. At the early time, maybe 10 years before, there were some efforts regarding that. But now, everything had gone. And I don't see anything. At least one CD that contains a library, books of hadith, the Quran and its science, hadith and its science, books of hadith such as Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmidhi, Muwatta Malik, all those books are available. So why don't we have them? Someone should be doing this. Okay, there are some scholars that also we can have, some of those who speak English, and they have grabbed a lot of knowledge from those scholars. And yet, they speak the English language now.
MashaAllah.
So those are the people that we should be hearkening, we should be sticking to them, seeking knowledge from them. Among them, mashallah, Sheikh Murtada Khan is a great brother, is a good brother. So you know more than me about those people. We should be trying to find those of the Sunnah people who follow, really practice the Sunnah. It's okay, Sheikh. What shall we do? It's okay. I like what as-Salaf used to be doing, at-Tabi'in. They said, if we want to take knowledge from a scholar, we used to observe his way of prayer. Because Sallu kama ara'aytumuni usalli, pray as you see me praying. Okay? No one should be ignorant about it. It's not that complicated thing that a person cannot get. Okay? So if they observe, they keep watching his prayer. If they found him performing prayer on the Sunnah way, okay, then they take knowledge from him. If they recognize that he's not following the Sunnah, observing the Sunnah in his prayer, they do not take knowledge from him.
SubhanAllah. MashaAllah, Sheikh. We have another question, which has been asked by a lot of people, mashallah, is like how to avoid the fitnah of the women. Basically, one would be stop looking at them. How can we avoid such a fitnah, and especially that we live in the West, mashallah?
Look at women in the right way.
Okay.
Yeah. Have a wife?
No.
Have a wife?
No.
Yeah. If you can't have a wife, you should be trying to have a wife. If you don't have, you should try.
No.
Yes. If you failed, try again.
No.
Now I'm not going to go longer with this, but what I want to say, many among us are lazy from seeking that we should be struggling to find. They should be. Laziness is not only to be lazy from going out and find a job. Also there's a laziness from going out and seek a wife. So you should be struggling for this. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, before he died, he said, Zawijuni, let me have a wife. I don't want to face Allah at my death while I'm single. I don't want to die as single.
SubhanAllah.
I don't want to die as a single. So therefore, this is a problem, and this is one of the things that the devil inspires on you to shackle you from and to make you lazy, because his good effort to do against you is to let you fall in fornication. So therefore you should try. That's why I meant purposely to repeat. If he didn't find, let him try again. Yes. But if he tried and he has a problem, he has no money, he has etc., things are difficult.
You know, sometimes the brothers and the sisters from both sides are a little bit picky, you see. So they think about certain cultures, certain countries, certain educational background, So, and for this, we have a lot of people that cannot get married, and of course, the mahr is very, very expensive sometimes.
The Prophet ﷺ said, if there had come to you one whom you are pleased with his manners and his religion, let him marry. No, did he mention any further conditions? No. For if you do not, then there will be in the land a great fitnah and wide corruption.
Allahu Akbar.
Wide corruption. So for those who put other conditions, such as what is your nationality, what is your race, your race doesn't cope with our race. Is that right?
No.
So we say to them, you are cooperating in causing this fitna and corruption in the land.
No.
Okay. So therefore, when a person is known with his akhlaq, with his religion, no one should be refusing him, rejecting him. And those who put these conditions, I would say they're responsible by Allah. They're responsible for their refusal. Yes. But as for the person who cannot afford having a wife, we'll say to him, why do you look? If you look, you fornicate. Can you fornicate if you look? No. No. Can you ejaculate if you look? I don't know. Maybe there are some people, okay, they're extremely hot. I don't know.
No, stop it.
But basically, you want, okay? So you harmed yourself. You harmed yourself.
No.
Just like a person turning on his car, keeping it for 10 hours, okay? Wasting its energy, its consumption, fuel, and leaving it just like that. Why do you have to burn yourself? Okay? Alright, maybe you liked her. Okay. Go and ask her, can I marry you? But wait a minute. If you saw her showing everything, how can you marry such a person?
No, mashallah.
How can you marry? There is a great gap between you and her. She has her own inspiration. No, not inspiration. Aspiration.
Aspiration, yeah.
She has her own aspiration. She has her own atmosphere. She has her own future, which has nothing to do with yours. Okay, so if you have a hope that you may marry her, look at her and tell her, I liked you, I want to marry you. But if you don't, and you know you can't, okay, so don't burn your heart. Because these kinds of watching, it has really a chemical reaction to your body. Physical, chemical reaction. It affects you. Sometimes people, because they keep watching or looking, okay, when they get back home, even if they're married, they may not be pleased anymore with what they have at home compared to the things that they see outside. And we should know that those who show themselves outside, they have taken a lot of exercises in order to maintain the fitness and the beauty of their bodies, in order to attract. This is how shaitan works with people. Okay? So therefore, it has a sort of regret, a destruction for the structures of the family. So why do you have to look? Plus, beside all of that, okay, you may be deprived from achieving what you wish to have. You want to get married, all right? But you don't fear Allah regarding lowering your gaze.
No.
So, not being able to have a wife, maybe this may be one of the punishments of Allah.
No.
For constant watching, looking, etc., etc. So be careful. The story of Musa. Do you remember Musa? When he supported those two girls with water, right? And after giving them the water, what did he do? He took a corner. What did he say? رَبِّ إِنِّي لِمَا أَنزَلْتَ إِلَيَّ مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَقِيرٍ. My Lord, regarding what you have descended me of your favor, I'm still poor. What is the next ayah? Do you memorize it?
No.
The next ayah is فَجَاءَتْهُ إِحْدَاهُمَا تَمْشِي عَلَى اسْتِحْيَاءٍ.
SubhanAllah.
Next ayah is then one of the two girls came to Musa walking timidly, shamefully, timidly, with a great shyness. And she said, my father wants to reward you regarding the water that you supported us with. Now, when Musa came to his house, then one of the two girls, I think maybe the same one who came to him, she said, oh my father, Ya abati ista'jir, oh my father, hire him. Inna khayra man ista'jarta al-qawiyyu al-amin. The best among those whom you hire is one who is strong, trustworthy. Strong, trustworthy, both. Two conditions. Some people are trustworthy but not strong. One of them is who? Abu Dhar. Abu Dhar asked the Prophet ﷺ to permit him being a mayor, leader, chief on one of the cities. Then the Prophet replied and said to him, O Abu Dhar, you are weak. And this matter of leadership is a matter of trust. And at the day of judgment, it's going to be a matter of sorrow and embarrassment. Sorrow and embarrassment. Except one who took it by what? Fairly. Took it fair. That means he feared Allah and he did it on the right way. Okay? He was a fair leader. So the Prophet said to him, you're weak. But we know that Abu Dhar is trustworthy. But he was weak. So the woman said to her father, oh my father, hire him, for the best of those whom you hire is the strong, trustworthy. Now, his daughter was talking about what? What? About what?
His daughter was talking about, taking care of the business and everything else.
Hiring him.
Yeah.
Hiring him.
Yeah.
Then what did he say? إني أريد أن أنكحك إحدى ابنتي هاتين. I want to offer you the marriage of one of those two daughters. Then على أن تأجرني ثمانية حجج. That's another issue. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he feared Allah. He supplicated. Some people, not you. Some people, they keep calling, brother, do you know some, sometimes there are women who are seeking desperately a husband, and men seek desperately a wife. A lot of people, but no one has any network to know that the other one needs. Okay? So this is also a problem.
No.
And there are people who do not want to undertake this burden because they say it's going to be a hassle, a panic, a headache, so we don't want to take it. Now I would say you shouldn't be doing this. You should be a bridge of doing good. And to stay without a wife or to divorce a wife, this is the best kind of effort that the devil loves to do. So someone should be doing this, working on that effort. All right? Yeah, sometimes he may fear that if they got married and then they regretted or they have a problem, one may say to his wife, may Allah curse the one who was the contact between me and you. May Allah curse him.
No.
Yeah, but even though the curse will not be reaching the person because his intention was to do good. What I meant by this is that at least if we ask people, if you know someone, don't forget to raise up your hand and to supplicate Allah as Musa supplicated Allah. Then Allah provided him instantly a wife.
Allahu Akbar.
The previous ayah is, "Oh my Lord, regarding your favor on me, I'm still poor." And this is very how do you say that? Full of manners. The expression is full of manners, akhlaq, adab, ethics with Allah. Oh my Lord. Yani he's acknowledging Allah's favor, but he's still poor. He's looking for a wife. The next ayah was, Allah inspired this girl to come to Musa alayhi salam and to offer him the reward from her father. And see, this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yani, you should try to do a work and leave the causes to Allah. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about the ark of Nuh. He said, وَحَمَلْنَاهُ عَلَى ذَاتِ أَلْوَاحٍ وَدُسُرٍ. We lifted him up on panels of wood, connected with screws. He didn't. Why did he say al-wahid? Why didn't he say ship?
Interesting.
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to remember that no matter what we struggle, still we should not suffice our struggle away from the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remembering, for example, Allah ordered Maryam to shake the palm tree. What can Maryam do if she shakes the palm tree? But Allah wants you to do a work and not to forget that He is the causer as well. So Maryam had to shake the palm tree, which is usually unshakable. And Allah was letting the dates fall. Okay? So do take the initiative, use the means, but the best means is to raise your hands up to Allah and ask Him, okay, to provide you.
No.
Because this is the best provision. What? Having not only a normal wife. No. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Ad-dunya mata'." Life is a joy. Wa khayru mata' ad-dunya al-mar'atu as-salihah. And the best joy of this life is a righteous, good woman. This is the best. Now, I'm not knocking your heart. I'm not knocking your heart with this. I hope you don't feel sorrow and regret, because you're not married, aren't you?
No.
Are you single?
I am single.
Okay, so this video may be a good reason. We didn't set it up, okay? Neither me nor you.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, but inshallah, I hope that this will be a reason for you to get married.
Inshallah.
And don't forget, my brother, always, and this is for all our brothers as well, don't forget to raise up your hands asking Allah for even the thing that you don't consider to be a considerable thing. Even fixing your shoes. You ask Allah to help you doing this, as the Prophet said. Even in this issue, don't forget to keep raising the hands up and ask Allah. Allah loves to be asked. Allahu yaghdabu in tarakta su'alahu wa bunayyu Adam hina yus'alu yaghdabu. It's beautiful, huh?
Subhanallah.
Allahu yaghdabu in tarakta su'alahu. Allah gets angry if you stop asking Him. He gets angry if you stop asking Him. While the son of Adam, if you ask him, he gets angry. Just like one says to you, brother, I love you. Ask me anything except my pocket. Okay? Anything else, but not my pocket. But as for Allah, ask Allah for anything. The Prophet said, even for the fixing of your shoes, ask Allah to support you with help.
MashaAllah.
Nah.
Allahu Akbar. So, Sheikh, inshallah, we covered that area where you have to do whatever you can, and to ask Allah to support you and to give you a good wife. But the thing is, let's say for example, so that happens, what are the steps that I should take?
Oh, one thing I forgot to say, I'm sorry.
Yes.
If you looked at that woman, would you desire to fornicate? Suppose she said to you, do you want to fornicate? Are you going to say yes?
Well, most people, subhanAllah, it depends on
No, I'm talking about the mu'min.
Oh, the mu'min will say no.
The mu'min who is struggling not to look, but he falls.
No.
Okay? This is a very important question. It's a vital question.
No.
If he has the chance to fornicate with this one whom he's looking at, will he be pleased to do that?
No, he won't.
Then why do you look?
That's shaitan.
She doesn't belong to you. She's not of you. You're not of her. So there's no communication between you and her, except she was used by the devil to wear these kinds of
clothes.
Yeah. 99% naked, 1% covered.
No.
Okay?
No.
To burn your heart. No. To melt your heart. To melt your heart. Okay? And to corrupt your relationship with your wife. That's why the Prophet ﷺ, suddenly his eyes reached a woman, and he saw her. This is the first sight. As the Prophet ﷺ said, the first sight is for you, but the second is not for you. There are some tricky people who say, oh, first sight, so don't let me turn my eyes away, because this is still the first sight.
Ongoing, yeah.
Alright, so they're tricking themselves. Allah cannot be tricked.
No.
This is the first sight. Maybe it takes seconds, 2-3 seconds.
No.
After 3 seconds, there, how the second sight will start. Okay?
No.
Yeah. So
the Prophet Muhammad
ﷺ saw a woman, then he went rushing to his house, and then he came back. And when the companions asked him, we saw you rushing, why? He said, I saw something that, it causes the person to feel something. Then I went to my family. Some people may say, well, this is strange. A person watches something and then immediately goes to his wife, etc., etc. This hadith is good hadith. It's showing you that you're looking for a result. Okay? You're looking for a result, either for fornication or not. So in order to avoid the fornication, get back to your family if you see something. Because if you don't do and you keep looking, you won't be able to return to your family if you look something you desire. Because you'll be desiring this and you'll be belittling your wife. And belittling your wife, or even sometimes divorcing, nowadays we have a problem, a serious problem in that. Okay? This may be one of the punishments of watching women.
SubhanAllah Azza wa Jal. So, Sheikh.
How many people, Sheikh, they lose what they desperately desire to have by failing in the test that Allah tested us with. Those women are a test for us, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً أَتَصْبِرُونَ وَكَانَ رَبُّكَ قَدِيرًا. And we set some of you to be a trial and test for the other people of you, to test you. Will you be patient?
SubhanAllah Azza wa Jal.
Yes.
So, Sheikh, what are the other means that I can follow? Of course, we know that, if you cannot get married, you go fasting. And, you try the best to do your fasting and everything else. But we have a lot of brothers that came to us, actually, and some sisters, they say to us that we tried the fasting, you know, it doesn't work and we cannot get married, but still the fitness is there. So what is
why can't they get married? I mean, even in this country here, men can work and women also can work.
Yes.
And if both cannot work, there's a social help that the government gives.
No.
So there are many facilities. I'm wondering why the three are failing in a country. We're talking about the UK here, right?
No.
So the UK is a rich country, and they have many facilities. So I disagree that there's no means. No. الشيطان يعدكم الفقر ويأمركم بالفحشاء.
No.
The devil promises you poverty, and he incites you to fall in abomination, in fornication, in adultery. You're poor, no means. Wait until you have the means. No.
SubhanAllah.
You may marry today, and tomorrow a gift from Allah will be granted to you. I remember this happened to me. When I had the first son, a good job was provided to me by Allah.
Allah.
Yani the job came with the first born child.
Allah.
Because Allah is the Ar-Razzaq, Dhul Quwwati al-Mateen. Allah is the provider. Okay? Allah is the provider. So there's no one that struggle. But I hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be providing him.
Ameen. Ameen. Okay, Sheikh, Jazakallah khairan for this answer, mashallah. We have another question, which is, it's actually for the youth in our community. Yeah? A lot of people are actually facing this problem, which is how they can stop using intoxication. And intoxication, we say it all. So alcohol, drugs, any intoxication, they have a big problem.
They know it's haram?
Wallahi, some of them do, others they try to give themselves excuses. Oh, you know, the Quran.
So the first solution, the first solution, to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
First solution is to know that it's haram. Because that would help. If somebody says, no, it is makruh, makruh, they don't know how to pronounce it in Arabic.
Yeah.
It's makruh.
No.
By the way they pronounce it, it's funny. Yeah. They say makruh.
Yes.
That means it is hated, but not forbidden. Yeah. I got someone on the street who said that to me. He was asking me, where can I find halal restaurant somewhere here? And I noticed that he has a cigarette in his hand. I said, are you looking for halal? He said, yes. I said, what about the one in your hand? Is it halal? So he said, it's makruh.
Allahu Akbar.
So I said, alright, if it's hated but not forbidden, you know that when we eat something, we have to say Bismillah, in the name of Allah. If you finish what you're eating, you say, Alhamdulillah, I praise Allah for providing me. So do you do that when you start smoking? Do you say Bismillah? When you start smoking, he said, no. I said, thank you. So you know it yourself if it's forbidden or if it's hated. So the first solution is to know that it's haram. Right? Second solution is that you should know that there's a sort of hallucination takes place. Alright? Some people were trying to catch the sun. Or the moon. That's it. No, I failed. I have to catch it in a better way. They tried to catch the moon. They tried to catch the sun. What happened to their mind at that moment? It's very strange. You have to know that this is a great social crime that would be causing, God forbid, even your daughter, if she became addicted to this, all right, that she may give her own body as a price to get a little of that drugs. Would you allow it for your daughter? Would you ever imagine to think just for, you know, the blink of an eye that you may accept it? So it causes a great danger in the society. Crimes, killing, A man can kill his wife knowing not what he did. Really, some people think that they're fighting the enemies. I've seen one on video. He had a knife and he was killing a person, and he went like this. He kept, and he's getting tired.
Subhanallah.
He was stabbing him, stabbing, and then he walked like this, tired. And he was saying, I was fighting an enemy. I don't know. I was in jihad.
Allah.
So some things that happen, the khalas, the mind is lost, but in a way which is much worse than the normal intoxication, which is the alcohol.
No.
The impact that it makes, the corruption, the damage that it makes to the brain is ever worse than the alcohol. So therefore, according to the Maliki madhab, if they caught a person drunk and he killed someone, alright, then the punishment is multiplied. One for his intoxication and one for his killing or theft or etc. or rape.
Subhanallah.
Twice. Because he's not excused to drink or to take the hash or heroin or etc. He's not excused. So, and also scholars had agreed unanimously that those drugs are haram. They're not makruh. Yes.